To Turkey now, where President Recep Tayyip Erdogan says his country has achieved victory as Kurdish rebels laid down their weapons. Erdogan says Friday's handover of arms by the Kurdistan Workers Party, or PKK, has turned a new page. More than 40,000 people were killed in the four-decade conflict. Darin Khalifa, senior advisor at the International Crisis Group, attended the gathering in northern Iraq where the PKK fighters laid down their arms. Dareen, you attended this gathering in northern Iraq. What was the atmosphere like, and did it in fact feel like a genuine turning point?
Let me just correct you. I did not attend the gathering. However, it is a massive turning point. I think President Erdogan was not mistaken to describe this as turning a page of history. It's a significant step, yet it remains symbolic. It's only 30 fighters who burned their weapons, laid them down, yet it was it was a strategic move. It came after a lot of deliberation within the movement and between the movement and the Turkish state. President Erdogan's response to the gesture from the Kurdish movement was also quite positive. He talked about the parliamentary commission tasked to look at potential reform of the Turkish constitution that could guarantee more Turkish rights. It's something the movement has asked for, the Kurdish movement has asked for a long time now. So it is going quite positive, way more positive than a lot of us who've been working closely on this have anticipated even a few months ago.
And we apologize for that misinformation. Erdogan has now declared this a historic moment. From your perspective, is this genuine progress, or does the president have other motives?
It's really hard to assess his motives. Yet one can also argue that Erdogan, since the beginning of his presidency, has really wanted to be the person who solves the Kurdish problem. He invested a lot in it prior to 2015, when there was an actual peace process going on between the Turkish state and the PKK. Things took a really wrong turn after 2015 and the peace process fell apart. And we can talk more about the reasons for that. But since then, he's taken a more hardline position. He has aligned himself and his party with ultra-nationalists in Turkey who, again, had very hardline positions when it came to a potential peace process with the PKK. So a lot of things have happened since. This conflict that has lasted for almost 40 years now is a clear example of a war that no one was winning. The Turkish state has had the upper hand militarily, but it's come at a great cost. Economically, politically, it is seen by the Turkish state as a massive liability that is being exploited by Turkey's geopolitical rivals. So there is will in the Turkish system and from the AKP and from President Erdogan himself to conclude this chapter in the conflict. They want to find a political way forward. However, that said, it is yet to be seen how much they're going to be willing to offer concessions to the Kurdish movement. So far, he has been quite keen on portraying the process as a unilateral steps from the Kurdish movement, that it's not a negotiation process, that it's not a quid pro quo. But moving forward, the movement is expecting more from the Turkish state. They're expecting reform. They're expecting clear answers on key questions, including amnesties for around 8 to 10,000 prisoners in Turkey. Also amnesties for fighters who want to come back to Turkey and live a civilian life. So there's a lot of things that they are expecting that have not yet been manifested.
Understood.
So I think the next few months are really going to show if President Erdogan is willing to meet them halfway and start the negotiation process that he alluded to in his speech today.
Okay. That is Dareen Khalifa from the International Crisis Group. Many thanks to you.
Thank you.